this. I know little enough of the Dalish other than the fact that my mother was one, or so I was told. She had fallen in love with an elven woodcutter and accompanied him back to the city, leaving her clan behind for good. And there, of course, the woodcutter died of some filthy disease and my mother was forced into prostitution to pay off his debts. Oldest tale in the book. How should I know? My mother was a whore, as you'll recall. None of the other elven boys in the whorehouse knew their fathers. I was not so unusual. I didn't know my mother either, of course. She died giving birth to me. My first victim, as it were. We were all raised communally by the whores. It was a happy enough existence, ignoring the occasional beating. Until eventually I was sold to the crows. I brought a good price, so I hear. That's very kind of you to say, but it is not necessary. It could have been much worse. Shall I tell you about what happened to the other whorehouse boys who did not fetch a decent price with the crows? Surely your life has not been so idyllic. People like you and I are not the product of happy lives of contentment, after all. My original point is that my mother's Dalish nature was always a point of fascination for me. Through all the years of my crow training, the one thing of my mother's that I possessed was a pair of gloves. They were of Dalish make, I knew that much, and beautiful. I had to keep them hidden, of course, as we were not allowed such things. Eventually, they were discovered, and I never saw them again. Not at all. I think of myself as Antivan. Still, that did not stop me from running off to join a clan when I drew near Antiva City once. Naturally, the reality did not live up at all to the fantasies I had constructed as a boy, staring at those gloves. But such is life. Come, enough talk of the Dalish. Let us move on. Gloves? You're giving me gloves? What for? Maker's breath. You're right. It is like my mother's. The leather was less thick, and it had more embroidery, but these are very close, and quite handsome. Still, I appreciate the fact that you even thought of me. No one has simply given me a gift before. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. That...
Interesting.
I'm to keep...
Oh, thank you.
That looks fine indeed.
You and Leliana are quite close, are you not? I am curious as to the nature of your relationship. Jealous? Not I, no. But one does not need to be jealous to be leery of rushing headlong into complicated situations. You and I have had our fun, but I know how it is with men and their women. If you are serious about this Leliana, we need pursue this thing of ours no further. What I want, if only it were so simple. I make no claims upon you, nor would I dream of such. You are free to pursue your fancies as you desire, and I would have it no other way. I suspect Leliana, however, would not feel the same way. If there is to be something between you and I, to string her along would only hurt her deeply. You must know this is so. Then only one path lies before us, no? No need to apologize. This is how things must be. At any rate, the air is now clear and we are free to continue on. Come, we've much to do. What say you? By all means.
I was just thinking about what happened to the elves, and I'm reminded of a song sung to me many years ago. It was when my mother died, and this wise elven woman comforted me and told me that we shouldn't fear death or hate it. Death is just another beginning. One day, we must all shed our earthly bodies to allow our spirits to fly free. It's a beautiful sentiment, I think. One that brings peace and hope to the grieving. Well, aren't you sweet and attentive?
There you are. Wanted to talk to you. You and I, you know how sometimes you spend time with people and things. I was thinking, I do know some people out here on the surface. A person, actually. A girl I knew in Orzammar. Before I left, obviously. It'd be nice to talk to someone else who's been out here a while. Someone else from Orzammar. Her name's Felsi. She and I were friends after Branka left for the deep roads. I'm sure she's forgiven me by now. Thought maybe I'd track her down, see how she's been living. I tried to look her up the last time we were at Lake Calenhad.